Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening. Yeah, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear
Yes.
you.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
yeah, can hear you.
Great. Okay, so this is our first class. I'm so glad to get to know you.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, before we start, I'd like to introduce myself a little bit, and I would love if you can do the same.
Yeah.
My name is Maria.
Mm.
I'm from America. I am 32 years old.
Yeah.
Right now, it's 8 a.m. on Sunday morning. You are
In the
13
voice.
hours ahead.
Okay. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
First, my name is Huy. It's spelled Huy. Yeah, Huy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 16 years old.
16. Okay.
Yeah, 16. Um, I'm studying at high school. I'm studying in high school. What else?
I don't know. Tell me what things do you like, what things you don't like, and why do you want to
I love.
take your IELTS exam?
Um, uh, so my favorite things to do in my free time is watching movies, anime.
Anime. Okay.
Yeah. Um, and the reason for taking an IELTS exam is I want to have a good point on my graduate exam, graduate test. And, um, like if we got more than 4 point in IELTS, we can get 10 point in English. So 10 mark in English in relation mark.
Okay.
So that's the reason why I'm taking IELTS exam.
Okay. Very good. And tell me, what do you like to do on your free time besides watching anime? Do you practice any sport?
Yeah, I love to play volleyball and table tennis, ping pong.
Mm-hmm. Table tennis.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Do you practice it a lot?
No, twice a week. Maybe twice a week. Yeah,
That's a
just
lot. Okay, great. So let's get started with the material here. I'm gonna share my screen with you here. Please let me know if you can see.
just yeah, I can see it.
Okay, great. So I'm just going to explain a little bit what this material is about, and then you're gonna have your chance to practice the lesson, all right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this first part is a formula. When you have to decide here, do you prefer X or Y. Basically,
Yeah.
they're going to give you two options. You have to choose
Mm.
which one and explain why.
Yeah.
They are going to give you several ideas,
Mm.
and you have to identify which one is the correct one. The aims
Yeah.
or the objectives. Do you prefer writing letters or sending emails? Do you prefer
Mm.
talking on the phone or chatting online? Do you prefer travel or by bike or on foot?
Yeah.
Okay? The formula.
Yeah.
When the examiner asks you, do you prefer X or Y type questions, you must. These are the things that you must do. One,
Mm.
state which one you prefer.
Yeah.
Compare the two things the examiner mentions. Give
Mm.
reasons and examples to explain why. When you are
Yeah.
taking this exam, the why part is very important.
Mm.
When you have to give your explanation, why are you selecting that option?
Yeah.
Okay. Language step. 1. Master prefer plus verb in ing. I
Mm.
prefer walking.
Mm.
Or prefer plus to verb, the verb in infinitive. I prefer to
Yeah.
walk. You can use either one of them. You can say,
Mm.
I prefer walking, I prefer to walk. But you
Yeah.
can never say, I prefer
To work.
to walking. That is not okay.
Yeah.
Use comparative of convenience or graded benefit like a native speaker. Traveling by bus is faster than going by car.
Yeah.
Faster than. This is the comparative form. How familiar are you with the comparative form?
Mm. Fast. Mm.
How familiar are you with the comparative form?
Comparative. How familiar?
Yes, do
What do
you
you mean?
understand
Sorry.
what is the comparative
Ah,
and
yeah. Yeah.
superlative?
Okay. Yeah. I understand it.
Okay,
Sorry.
don't apologize. I forgot to tell you, if I speak too fast, please stop me and I will lower my speed, okay? Here we go. Hello? Hello?
Sorry. Um, I think my internet has problems. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Here, let's continue. Native speakers' words. These are words that we use very often.
Yeah.
Let's learn some native speaker words which are useful in answering this type of questions. These words can also help you understand the model answer on the next page more thoroughly.
Mm.
I will read the word, you will repeat it, and
Yeah.
then you are going to read the example. Okay?
Yeah.
Convenient.
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 Very good. Can you please read the example?
Is it convenient for you to meet Friday afternoon?
Friday
Afternoon.
afternoon.
Yeah, Friday afternoon.
Very good. Remember that on questions, the intonation goes at the end of the sentence. Is it
Yeah,
convenient for you to meet on Friday afternoon? The intonation of the questions goes
yeah,
here at the end.
yeah.
Okay. Actually,
Actually,
actually.
actually,
Very good. Can you please read the example?
many people think that phis-
Philosophy.
philosophy, philosophy is really boring, but it's actually quite fascinating when you
Fascinating.
start finding fascinating when you start finding out about it.
Awesome. Get stuck.
Get stuck.
Get stuck.
Get get stuck.
Excellent. Just like that. Get stuck.
Get stuck.
Perfect.
We got we got stuck. We got stuck in traffic for hours, and so we missed our plane.
We got stuck in traffic for hours and so we missed our plane. Very good. Traffic jam.
Traffic jam. Yeah,
Hmm.
traffic jams are usually just caused by the amount of cars on the road rather than by accident. This is why there are always traffic jams on during rush hour.
Excellent. Means of transport.
Means of transport. Although a car is probably the most popular means of transport, it is not very suitable for modern life in cities where they are too expensive and there's not enough space to ride them.
Very good. Smiley.
Smiley, whenever I make a joke about somebody while I'm on the internet and I worry that someone might get angry, I just put a smiley at the end of my message to show that I was only joking.
Very good. Online.
Online,
Correct.
I won't let
Online.
my
Hmm.
I won't online. I want to let my child surf the web. There are too many dangerous and dirty things online.
Very good. Sociable.
Sociable,
Sociable.
mark, sociable,
So, the first syllable, this one is
so,
so.
sociable,
Sociable. Very good. You got it.
sociable.
Hmm.
Mark isn't a very sociable person at all. He hardly ever goes out to have fun and spends all his time alone in his room playing computer games.
Excellent. Awesome. Now, from these words, convenient, actually, get stuck, traffic jam, means of transport, smiley, online, sociable. Which one is a new word for you? Which one the meaning is not clear to you?
Sociable?
Okay, sociable is describing somebody
Sociable.
who likes meeting new people or spending time with people. There are two kinds of
Yeah,
people. Those that likes to talk and talk and talk, and the other kind of people that are quiet. If they are sitting on the bus, they don't talk to the person next to them, and they are very
yeah,
quiet. Sociable
yeah,
is a person that if is in the bus and there is a new person
mm,
sitting next to them, they talk to them.
yeah,
Is it clear?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Model answers.
Good
This is
answers.
a model answer between Alice and David. The interviewer. Do you prefer travel? Do you prefer to travel by bike or by bus? Okay, over here you
And
have the X and Y.
X and Y.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Two options.
I can't see it. Wait a minute.
Yeah, it's because I don't know how
Just
to make this in a way that you can actually see it. You can see.
also I have to answer.
No, this is an example.
Yeah.
Is it better? Can you read better?
No.
Okay, I am going to read it.
Yeah.
Okay, the interviewer asks Alice, do you prefer to travel by bike or by bus? You have two options, X and Y. Alice says,
Yeah.
I prefer cycling to travel by bus. Cycling is so
Mm,
much more convenient than taking the bus if you are not traveling too far. Actually,
mm,
it's often faster to go by bike because you don't get stuck in traffic jams.
yeah.
Cycling is also better for my health than all other means of transport, including buses.
Yeah.
So, as you can see, she got two options, bike and bus. She is explaining
Yeah.
which one does she prefer. She is giving a reason why, and she is comparing.
Yeah.
Number two, interviewer. Do you prefer chatting online or talking on the phone? Generally, I prefer chatting online. I nearly always find that chatting online can be more sociable as you can speak to more than one person at the same time. Also, chatting
Mm,
online is often so much more fun because you can send smileys, photos, and even videos. Again, he has two options. He select one option, he compare, and he explain why.
yeah.
Now, if I ask you, do you prefer travel by bike or by bus?
Mm, I prefer uh, traveling by bus. Cycling. No. Going by bus. Can go for a far distance. Instead of like you easily getting tired when you're traveling by bike. And actually, uh, I don't really like to be tired. Like why I'm getting to school. It starts from my first is it starts far from my house, and when I get there, if I'm like sweating, so it's not good for a day, for all day.
Okay, very good. Remember the three steps. To choose one, compare, and explain. The second question, do you prefer chatting online or talking on the phone?
Um, I refer to chat online. Um, well, chatting online give me more time to answer the questions. Uh, yeah, give more time to answer the questions.
Questions.
and questions. Oh, questions. Questions.
Questions.
And
Que.
questions.
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 Correct. Very good. Better.
Question.
Correct.
Questions. Um, talking on the phone is, and talking on phones, you have to pay money for it. You have to, yeah, it costs money. So,
Okay. In that case, you say you
and
have to pay the
chatting online,
fee.
the fee. Yeah, sorry.
The
Yeah,
fee.
yeah. I had to pay the fee. Yeah, while talking online by talking on the phone and chatting online also. I can send photos and smileys
Okay.
by chatting online.
Very good. Okay. Let's continue. Okay. Language step 1. Prefer. Let's look at how the two Yale's candidates, Alice and David, use the verb prefer. She said, I prefer cycling to traveling. David said, I prefer chatting online.
Mm,
Obviously, the first thing you need to tell the examiner for this type of questions is whether you prefer X or Y. Remember the three steps? Select
yeah.
one, compare, and explain why.
No.
Prefer can be followed by either the verb in ing or the verb in infinitive. It's like to plus the verb. Notice that in the examples below that prefer plus the verb in ing can be followed by either to or rather than.
Right.
But prefer plus the verb in infinitive can only be followed by rather than.
Mm,
Here, prefer plus the verb in ing to rather than and the verb in ing. I prefer cycling to taking the bus. I prefer eating to cooking.
mm,
I prefer baking cakes at home rather than buying them in shops. I
mm,
prefer reading a newspaper rather than watching TV. So you can use to
alright.
or rather than. And in here, if you use rather than, if you use
Mm,
the verb in infinitive, you can only use rather than. I
mm,
prefer to cycle rather than take the bus. I prefer to eat rather than cook. I prefer to bake cakes at home rather than buy them in shops. I prefer to read a newspaper rather than watch TV.
yeah,
Is this part clear?
yeah.
Okay. Okay, here, exercise 1. Some of these sentences below are incorrect. Some are correct. Identify the incorrect sentences and write the correct sentence. Well, you're not going to write them, you're going to tell me.
First, I refer to the singer to which, you know, rather than. So the first sentence is incorrect. Hello. Hello.
Okay. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah. Did you identify?
The first one is incorrect.
Okay. Why?
While we use refer to verb, we need to use rather than.
That is correct. Very good. The next one?
Mm, my sister refers writing letters to writing emails. So it's incorrect.
Why is incorrect?
Mm, if we need to you refer the verb ing to verb ing.
Correct. Very
So
good. Number three, remember that not all of them are incorrect.
yeah, number three is incorrect. Um, they need to use to verb or rather than to verb or verb ing rather than verb ing.
Okay, very good. Please continue. You are doing an excellent job.
Their both are on. It is incorrect, isn't it?
Okay, I much prefer to live in a town rather than a big
To live
city.
in a
How's that sound for you?
under minutes.
How does the word much sounds there?
Word much. I'm much. Oh yeah. So
Okay, the
it's
word
wrong.
much sounds a little weird, right?
Yeah.
Number five.
Mm, is it correct? Oh no, rather than no. Yeah.
My mother prefers shopping at the market more than in supermarkets.
Should it be rather than?
Rather than, very good. Number six, my friends generally prefer to send text messages to talking on the phone.
That's incorrect.
Why is incorrect?
They need to use the same form of it
The
to
same
work.
format.
So the first sentence to send it to be changed to sending. Prefer sending text messages to talking
Text
on the phone.
messages.
Text messages.
Correct, very good. Language step two, comparative. Let's look again at how the two yields candidates, Alice and David, use the comparative. Is it clear for you to read?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Can you please read Alice and then David?
Mm, Alice, cycling is too much more convenient than taking the bus if you're not traveling too far. Actually, it's often faster to go by bike. because you don't get stuck in traffic jams. Cycling is also better for my health than all the means of transport, including buses. And David said, I nearly always find that chatting online can be more sociable, as you can speak to more than one person at the same time. Also, chatting online is often much more fun because you can send smileys, photos, and even videos.
And even videos, very good. Now, what are the steps when you are talking, when you have an X and Y question? What is the first step?
Um, to choose to
To
choose
choose.
with
What is
one
the second step?
to compare them.
To compare. Okay, and now this is what are we doing? Comparing. After you have told the examiner whether you prefer X or Y, you should compare them. So it's very
Mm,
important to use comparative correctly. To form the comparative of an adjective, you should add
yeah.
I'm sorry, add er if the adjective is one syllable long, add ier if the adjective has
Mm,
two syllables and ends in y, and add more before the adjective if it was two or more syllables. You told me that
mm,
this comparative form you are familiar with it, right?
mm. Yeah, yeah,
Okay, look at this table below and see how these rules work.
yeah.
Take a look at that and try to you explain me the differences between short, ending in y, and long adjective.
The difference.
Yes, like if you were the teacher and I am the student and you are explaining that to me.
So, short adjective means it is short words, maybe one syllable. Oh no, sorry. Right.
Yes, short means one syllable.
Yeah. And ending with Y, so it's end with Y. Lazy, heavy, pretty ugly.
Okay, and how do that change when we are making comparative?
So we are changing the Y to an I and plus ER. So we're taking the Y out and plus into E IER.
That is correct. And with long adjective,
We're using more with them.
we add more before the adjective
Mm,
and we leave the adjective just like that. Very good. Now, these following adjectives have irregular forms like good, bad, and fun. You do not say funner, you say more fun.
yeah.
When you compare X and Y, sorry, when you compare X and Y, you should one you should use one of the following comparative structures.
Yeah.
You have
I
X,
can't see it.
you cannot see it. Why? What do you see?
I see. I can't see it, but it's like it is.
The
How can
image is
I
not clear.
describe? Yeah, it's not clear. Yeah, that's what I mean. I can read behind, after the hint, under the hint.
Can you repeat that, please?
I can read them under the hint.
Okay. Yeah, the connection is not good. That's why the image is not downloading, and that's why you cannot see it. I am sending you the images and you are not receiving them quite well.
Oh yeah, I can see it. I can see it now.
Can you
I
see
can
now?
see it.
Okay, yeah, the
Yeah.
internet is just a little slow. That's no problem.
Mhm.
Okay, so we
So
have two forms. We use the first one plus the verb to be, the
yeah,
comparative, then, and the option why.
mm,
Watching TV is more interesting than listening to the radio.
yeah,
The second one, option X, the verb to be, not us, the adjective us, and the option why.
mhm.
Listening to the radio
So
is not as interesting as watching TV.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
now let's do this exercise. Is this part clear?
yeah.
Okay, now here. Okay, here. Multiple choice. Choose the correct answer to complete the sentence below.
Mm. My mother refers to eats at home rather than eat in restaurant because she says it. Or C, better.
Correct. Number two.
We are, we are allowed to be uh, more creative. So P,
I think that I prefer a student life to working life because we are allowed to be more
more creative,
creativity, more creative, or creative in our attitude and
more
express ourselves.
more creative.
More creative. Very good. Number three.
Most people refer taking the airport express line road to take a taxi to the airport is is much weaker.
Most people prefer taking the airport express light railway to taking the taxi to the airport because it's much quicker,
Yes.
more quick,
Yeah.
more quicker.
Much weaker,
Because it's more quick.
more quick.
Yeah, it's an exception.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Number four.
Number 74.
Can you see it or not?
Oh yeah, I can say no. I prefer to go to parties with friends where I'm with my family. party with friends is so much exciting, so much more exciting.
More exciting because I can drink wine and let my hair down.
Uh,
Very good.
So, yeah, number five. To be honest, I prefer traveling to work by bus rather than by foot because it is easier.
Because it's easier. Very good. Number six.
I don't like taking the subway. It's definitely um not as comfortable as the bus. See,
Correct. Not as comfortable as the bus. Number seven.
for me, sending text messages is more fun than
More fun than sending
that.
emails. Very good. Number eight.
I prefer staying to working because I feel more free and more independent when I sleep. So speak.
Option C. I prefer studying to working because I feel freer, more free,
Fear. Oh, 1 minute.
because I feel more free,
Yeah, I feel more free and more independent. So it's B.
more independent. Very good. Extra language point. This is the third part when you are comparing, when you have two options. Remember, number one, to choose, number two, to compare, and number three, to explain why. This is where you
Yeah.
explain why. Take a look at how the two Yelts candidates, Alice and David, used these course markers in their answers. Can you please read them out loud?
Yeah. Cycling is so much more convenient than taking the bus. If you're not traveling too far, actually, it's often faster if you go by bike because and David said, I nearly always find that chatting online can be more sociable as you can speak to more than one person at the same time. Also, chatting online is often much more fun because
Very good. One reason why Alice and David's answer are so good is that both candidates put extra little words, called discourse markers, into their answers in a very native way. Try to use the following words and expressions more often when you speak English, as they will help you make you sound more like a native speaker. Actually, in fact. Actually and in fact are very often used by native speakers to introduce something that may be surprising or that slightly changes what was being said before. It is actually a lot cheaper to go to that supermarket. In fact, public buses are a lot more environmentally friendly than many people think. So far, so good?
yeah,
Awesome. Needless to say. Needless to say is another way of saying obviously or everybody knows that without sounding rude or arrogant. I like eating lots of cakes, but needless to say, that will make me fat. He's done very badly in his exams, so needless to say, he won't get into university this year. These are words
Mhm.
that you can use. So you have actually and in fact,
Yeah.
needless to say. Can you please continue?
Uh, Also, in addition,
Correct.
besides,
Okay. Also, in addition, can you please read the examples and the information in it?
yeah. Also, and in additions are used to add extra offer information. Like, I am a very sociable person. I refer to sports such as basketball and football. And in addition, I like to I like going to English club with my friends. And I prefer cycling rather than driving a car because it's helped me keep fit. In addition, it's better for the environment and it's also cheaper.
Okay. Sociable.
Sociable.
Not sociable, sociable.
Sociable.
Okay. Listen and try to find out the differences. The correct way is sociable. The incorrect
Sociable.
way is sociable.
Sociable.
So, the first S is just like the S of a snake.
Yeah.
Sociable.
Sociable.
Not the,
So,
yeah, the second one is show. The first
so,
is saw and the second show.
sociable.
There you go, perfect, just like that. Sociable.
Sociable.
We're gonna work on
Sociable.
that. Besides,
Besides. Or besides at the beginnings of the phrase means as well as. Whereas at the beginning of a clause it means anyway. So it's like besides watching TV and talking to friends, I can relax while traveling on subway. I like riding a bike as it's a very convenient way to travel. Besides, it's cheap and I can afford a car.
okay, very good. This exercise gap fill. Read the sentences and use the words in fact, also, needless to say, besides, actually, in addition to.
Hmm.
What you can do in this kind of exercises is to read all the sentences first and then
Hmm.
identify the missing words.
Yeah. So, needless to say, the first one. Needless to say, writing email is a lot cheaper than mailing letters. Yeah. Hello. Mm-hmm. Hello.
Correct?
Hello.
Yeah, number two.
Mm, I actually
I
prefer.
actually rather, okay.
Yeah. Number three. In fact,
Okay, how will be the whole sentence?
writing letters is more personal way to communicate. In fact, I like writing by hand.
Correct. Number 4.
I prefer watching TV to going to a cinema because um, besides being cheaper, it's also more comfortable. Comfortable?
Comfortable. Comfortable.
Comfortable. Comfortable. And
Very
then
good.
5, many people think it's dangerous to travel by airplane, but uh, but in addition to, is probably the safest means of transport available.
Okay. So, in this first class, we review the first formula. Here, let's make a review. Here, the first formula is, what do you prefer, X or Y? What are the steps when you are speaking? What are you going to do?
First one is to choose what we refer, and the second one is to compare them, and the third step is to giving the reason why you choose it.
Okay, very good. So here's a question for you to practice. What do you prefer? Going to school or taking classes online?
Let me think. Sorry. Class or taking. Yeah. I refer to study online studying online to rather than going to class. Mm, um, I'll compare. Uh, Studying online give you more time. Well, sorry.
Take your time, organize your ideas first, and then give your answer. When you are in the yields exam, they are going to give you time. They
Yeah.
give you like 5 minutes or so you can organize your ideas. So take it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, oh well, I refer to studying on. I refer studying online to uh, getting to school because studying online is give us more time to study for that class. Is you you're there you yeah you can study effectively in 1 hour, and the second reason is you can have more choice. Um,
More
why
choices, plural.
more choices? Sorry, more choices. What will you study? And it's maybe low cost. I think so. And in a class, what getting to class is, I think, uh, the sorry, wait a minute. Get
Don't
into
worry.
class.
We're going to work on this, okay? We're going to practice.
Yeah. Going to class is like there's a lot of friends, your friends, a lot of people, so you can maybe yeah.
All right. And that was
they
pretty good.
they can annoy you. Sorry, they can annoy you, and if the teacher said and you're being annoyed, so you can get off what they're saying as cool. That's all I think.
No, that's okay. Just remember, don't finish your sentence by saying that's all. Okay?
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right. So that will be all for today. Next week, we are going to start with the second formula. This was
yeah,
just the first. Next week, we're
yeah.
going to continue with the second formula. Do you have any questions so far? Something that you would like to add to the class?
No. Yeah. On next week, maybe we will study at on Saturday.
Yes, I was told that
Yeah.
today was an
We will.
exception that you couldn't study
Yeah.
yesterday.